So one of the main questions that we get asked here at HONA is why we don't suggest doing a slip layer of gel underneath your builder application. Whether you're using PureBuild or PureFoundation, we actually don't suggest that you use a slip layer because we are a hypoallergenic HEMA-free system. HEMA acts as not only an adhesive ingredient, it also acts as a thickening agent. So you will notice when you're using any HEMA-free or hypoallergenic brand, the actual viscosity of the builder gel is slightly thinner. So when you are applying a wet layer of gel underneath your bead, you will notice it actually spreads a lot quicker. So if you are quite an experienced nail tech and this is something that you are quite happy to work with, and you know that you're quite fast in your application and that works for you, that's great. So I'm just going to show you the difference of when you apply a slip layer and to when you don't apply a slip layer.
So I have got on here a cured layer of Plushy, which is our PureFoundation shade. So this is what we call our paper layer. So it is paper thin, about the thickness of a gel polish, and I have cured this. So when I say slip layer, it basically means that I'm going in with a thin layer of gel first, and then I'm going to leave this gel wet before I apply my structure bead. You can see already that the bead already starts to level out, and this is because wet gel will attract wet gel. You'll start to see it already self-leveling out to those areas that I have already applied that wet gel. When I go in with my liner brush just to tidy up those edges and around the cuticle, I have to work quite quickly in order for the gel to keep its shape. Once I'm happy with the shape of that, I can cure it. However, if you can see at the sides here, where the gel is already wet, it still continues to pull all of the wet gel in the centre out to those side walls. It also gathers at the bottom, it will gather at the cuticle area as well.
So this is one of the reasons why we don't like to use a slip layer, especially if you're a little bit slower to work with, because it will just pull that gel out to where it needs to be. And this technique is great if you're working with slightly thicker consistency that needs that help to be pulled out and get to where you want it to go. However, our gel, because it is slightly thinner and it does self-level so easily, it can almost be too quick. Okay, so I have removed all of the wet gel, so I'm back down to my paper layer of cured gel now.
So instead of doing that slip layer, I'm going to go straight in with bouncing my bead off onto the nail. And as you can see, it will start to self-level, but you've got so much more time to be able to play with this now and get it into the position that you need. I'm going to push that gel down towards the cuticle, and I'm going to really carefully then start pulling my gel down the nail. I like to keep my builder gel quite centralized, and with this again it will help not sort of flooding the side walls or anything like that. So all of my gel is very centralized, and because we haven't got that wet layer of gel underneath, it's not really going too far, so I've got time to play and move with it. I'm going to pull that gel down those side walls, and by doing this it'll keep those edges really nice and thin so that you don't have a really bulky side wall. Again, because my gel is mainly focused in the center, it's keeping that apex where it needs to be as well. And once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to finish by capping the free edge, and you get a much more sort of seamless application that way.
So not bulky at the sides, not bulky at the free edge. And that is one of the reasons that we don't suggest a slip layer.